Thanks for joining us as we talk about buying things from garage sales, thrift stores, and flea markets and reselling them on eBay for a profit. I'm John, that's Devin, and we're the Severe Thrifters. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7. You believe that? We made it to 7, Devin.
7, Devin.
We want to thank you all for listening. Thank you for downloading. We got quite a few of those, so I have no clue how well we're doing because there's no real gauge of where you should be at by episode 7.
I feel like we're doing pretty good.
I feel like we enjoy doing what we're doing, so I don't think it matters really how many downloads we have, but we do appreciate every single one of you that is listening. So thank you.
Yep. As long as we stay with it, keep getting better.
Yeah, tell your friends and family. Say, listen to these guys. They're a bunch of weirdos, but they talk good stuff.
They talk good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so I think on today's episode, we are going to talk a little bit about being persistent, staying consistent, a lot of tenths.
Yeah. Sticking with stuff.
Sticking with it, because I know just from my experience, we've gotten you guys all the way up to hopefully selling, but I know Devin knows that it could be slow at first. So I really want to emphasize on this episode how you have to just keep pushing through even when you think you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to touch on today.
Okay.
Because I know I've been down that road.
Yeah.
And I know when you first started out, it was a slow go at first. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because especially when we didn't know if we should be doing auctions or the buy it nows and stuff like that. Obviously, with auctions, it's a little different because you know you're going to sell something. Well, you think in 7 days something's going to sell, but it may not be the price that you're hoping for.
Yeah.
So with the buy it nows, like I'm sitting at 230, let's just say 235 listings, okay? And I don't even sell something every day. And I have over 230 listings. So if you haven't quite hit the 100 listing mark yet, because you haven't even hit the 100, have you?
Mm-mm.
So you're sitting at...
Well, I hit like 60 at one point, and then it dropped back down, and then I've never posted enough to actually hit that 100 and keep going.
Got it. Because it's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah, I got lucky to where when I started to hit about 60, I don't know if my account was just, they gave me good luck on it or something, because they were able to promote me right off the start.
Special person.
And so once I hit 60, I was actually selling stuff pretty much daily. I was selling stuff, but I mean, it wasn't high dollar stuff. It was $5 to $10 items for.
And you were promoting, right?
On some things, yeah. I was doing a lot.
Not everything. Just
I was doing a lot of all the stuff I would buy, like all the Squishmallows or Pokemon cards and stuff like that I would buy. I would sell and promote those just because I knew they'd get on the top of the list right away.
Yeah, because the list would be long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But all the other like Fenton glass and stuff like that, I never promoted because there was only 5 or 6 other types of that exact same style. So I was like, no point in promoting that one.
Yeah.
But I was selling pretty good for a little while. Just like consistently. So
you're not as gung ho about thrifting and stuff as I am.
No.
So I am like very persistent.
Yeah.
I have to admit, the other day we had so much going on, I didn't list one item. I missed one day,
missed a day
in a month and a half.
Now you're behind.
Listing. Well, then the very next day I did 15 listings.
Oh, well, now you're caught back up.
Yeah. So
at least you caught back up.
Yeah. Though. So persistence. Really, what I mean by that is don't get discouraged because you're not selling. Like, you're going to start to hear a cha-ching because you're going to get notifications on eBay. My phone will do a little like when somebody sends you a message or they send you an offer. And then when it's paid for, you get the cha-ching, and that's like the greatest feeling in the world. But you're not going to hear that a lot at the beginning. You might have a stretch on a weekend or... It's going to be different for everybody, but you might go 4 or 5 days without hearing anything, and don't be discouraged. You have to understand you're one of millions of people that are trying to sell on this platform. Mm-hmm. And let's just say you've hit the 40 listing mark because you're brand new. I think that your activity isn't going to be as great because eBay has their algorithms, and you're bottom of the totem pole right now. You know, you're not the big dog. And these top sellers, top rated sellers, they have the little star next to their name and it says top rated, and so they, you look at the parentheses of feedback and they'll have 20,000 feedback or whatever.
It's crazy too. Sorry to cut you off, but it's crazy how quick people can actually get that.
Oh yeah.
Talked about him before, Harry Tornado. He's got it. And we were just talking about how he's only got 500.
He just did an Instagram, said we hit 500 listings. That was it. Just 500.
That's not that many, guys. When you think about it, you've done it for 2 months now.
Month and a half.
We'll round it up to 2 months.
Easy now.
And you're at 235.
235.
That you're almost halfway there in 2 months. Not even 2 months. You're halfway there, halfway through your 90-day mark.
And that's hard to do, though. Because the reason I say it's hard to do is because once you hit, there's like these magic numbers that a lot of these bigwigs, I say bigwigs, the top-rated sellers use. And I've chatted with a few of them, and they said normally they started to see daily sales. And I'm not talking $1,000 days. I'm just saying they had a sale daily when they hit about 300 listings. I noticed a really, really, really big influx right around 150 to 200.
Do you think it's
listings.
because they noticed that you were posting every day and
yes.
that you're posting so much
active
stuff?
on eBay. I think it's all about the eBay activity. And what I've really noticed, and you know how we always get off on a tangent, I think the algorithm for me right now, when I sit down to list, I will do it all in one shot because that's what I was used to doing. I would set aside a couple hours, a few hours, depending on how many I wanted to list. You wouldn't believe how often my phone would go off while I'm listing. It happens every day. Last night, sat down, cha-ching, sold a remote control battery for an RC car and the charger. Yesterday, the day before, was a pair of shoes. Cha-ching! The day before. Every time I sit down to list, I get a cha-ching. Not kidding. Not kidding. There's got to be something to it. Your account is being, like, it's active at that moment because I'm using it. And I don't know with the algorithm if they start to bump your listings. It's the strangest things. And this could just be coincidence. But I've been paying attention to this, man. Every time I sit down to list, I get either notifications or I sell something.
It's possible that they bump you up to the top of the list because you're on eBay at that time listing more stuff. I don't know.
The last 2 days, I have tried something new because I wanted to see if this is really the case. So I started listing in the afternoon, like 5 items, and then I go back at, say, 5, 6 o'clock and list another 5. Just to see, I haven't done this for long enough to see if it's made a difference, but I wonder if they're showing activity at different times or more activity. I typically list in the evening here because we are Eastern Standard Time, so you figure California is 2 or 3 hours behind us.
Yeah.
And so I try to stay not quite later because we're that one time zone that we're ahead of everybody, aren't we?
I think so.
I mean, pretty much. So I try to stay between, let's say, 5 and 8 o'clock. Our time, Eastern Standard Time, is when I list. Typically.
That'd be around noon for everyone else.
So I thought, I didn't know if that makes a difference or not. But what I do know, and that kind of goes back to the persistence, is I have been very persistent with listing. I've been very consistent as well. I do it every day. I missed one day, and I got to tell you, I didn't sleep that night.
You can't say you do it every day now.
I know I can't say that.
You can't say that.
Even though I made up for it, I still can't say that.
Doesn't matter. You missed a day.
Crap. See, I like saying I've done it every single day. And it just goes to show you don't have to do it every day. But if you start, it's like you get that new job. And the very first time you want to call out of work is like the hardest ever, right? You just don't ever want to do it. And then the very first time you call out, it's like, oh, that was easy.
Yep.
And then you just start.
Easier and easier.
Yeah, it gets easier and easier.
And that's exactly what happened to me. I wasn't consistent with it. I wasn't seeing that influx of money that I was wanting to see. And so I started slacking off little by little by little. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, I don't even want to list anymore because it's like, I'm not seeing any money roll in. All my work that I'm putting into it's not showing. I'm done. It's kind of like going to the gym, I think.
Yeah, if you don't see
you go to the gym for the first month.
Any results right away.
Like, man, I don't see results. I'm done.
And that's probably why a lot of people don't exercise for length of time because they don't see the results right away. It's like a diet. And eBay listing, reselling for a profit is exactly, I'm glad you brought that up. It's exactly the same thing. You have to fight through those negative thoughts that I don't see a result, so I'm not going to do it as much. And then it goes from as much to I'm not going to do it at all.
Yeah.
And then all that work up to that point has been wasted. It's no different if you're working out. If you went to the gym for 2 months straight and you started dying off because you didn't see any results, all that 2 months was wasted.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Stay persistent. Stay consistent. It will work out if you enjoy doing it. Now, I thoroughly enjoy it. You're going to know, because you've been doing it, say, 2 months now. You're going to know whether it's something that's like you're passionate about or something you're like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I think that's where you're at.
You always told me stay at least 2 weeks at a job, because after that 2 week mark is when you're going to start to notice if you actually enjoy the job or not. And I think that's true for a lot of things. And I think especially eBay, probably a little bit longer than 2 weeks, because it takes you a little bit longer than 2 weeks to get paid for stuff.
Yes.
Right off the rip. I mean, you're not going to start seeing that a good sum of money coming in. You're not going to start seeing, hundreds of dollars coming in every day or every weekend off of your first 2 weeks.
Right.
It's going to be your 4th, 5th, 6th week. I didn't start until a couple weeks ago. I started getting the bigger. I ended up shipping out like 8 to 12 things and stuff like that. I mean, that's when I was at that 60 peak of however much stuff I had listed. I was selling a lot. But now 48. And it's like I'm not even seeing anything. No one's even looking at my stuff anymore, and it's.
And here's the crazy thing, because you bring up another good point, is you're not going to start to see any results right away. You're just not. And you're going to take a day off. You're going to take 2 days. Don't do it. Just keep listing. And I know, and this is what we talked about some other episodes, is how much money do you put into this, right?
Yeah.
Because if I'm telling you to keep listing, where are you getting these items?
Yeah.
Are they coming from the house? Great. Do you have anything left? No. What do I do now, John? Right? What do we do now? You go to garage sales. Well, I live in Michigan or in Illinois. It's snowing. Nobody has garage sales. Well, then you got to find some thrift stores.
Yeah.
If the shoes are $25, don't buy them, because our thrift stores here are expensive.
Yeah.
You have to be smart, but try to look at it from $1 to $5 range and say, can I make 15? So don't be so concerned with like a high dollar amount, because let's face it, if you're doing this to start out, you're dumping a lot of money into product. If you've already gone through the house and kind of got rid of everything and you're not seeing those sales, that means now money is starting to come out of your pocket. So don't go in the thrift stores looking for $20, $30, $40 items to try to make 120 of them.
I was, it leads me to an example here. Taylor sent me a video of this lady who was finding furniture, but it was the whole, what is it called, where it's like a pin that goes through. The best way I can explain it, right? You have dovetail and the one that has like pins in it almost.
A wooden doll?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glad you knew what I was talking about. And how apparently that was like an old way of making furniture, right?
It was, yes.
Like back in the day. Those are worth good money now, if you can find one that's original to back in the day. Because they were early 1900s, right? When that was like a mastered craft. But you have to spend $50, $60 to buy a piece if you can find it for cheap. So you may want to stay away from that. You may want to go to Dollar Tree and try to find... Our Dollar Tree has Blu-ray DVDs. For $1, you could potentially make 6 to 15 on a DVD. So I think that's... If you have $20, I feel like you can turn that into $100 easily.
Maybe not on... And I wouldn't be looking for one specific item for $20.
Yeah,
if it's coming out of your pocket. Be looking to maximize... Garage sales are the best way to maximize your dollar when it comes to reselling on eBay. It really is. But if you're in a climate that there just isn't any garage sales, I mean, always be on the look for the church sales. Always be on the lookout, because you can get some great deals there. But you also, if you're not in close proximity to thrift stores, Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Make sure you get on there and go to local and look for things that people are just trying to sell or get rid of. You'd be surprised what you could pick up for $5 and maybe turn it into $15 or $25.
Yeah.
You have to have a positive frame of mind. You don't be thinking about a home run. We talked about this the last episode. Is think small but think big. I don't want you dumping $500, $600, $700 into product when you just started out. I don't want you spending ton of money that you probably don't have because you're still going to have bills to pay. So be thinking cheap, because in this industry, you have to be thinking cheap in order to maximize your profit.
Yeah.
I start out with maybe you got to be careful on what you buy with $1. And maybe next episode we'll go over some of the things that you should be looking for that are in the $5 and less range that you can maximize a profit on, because I made the mistake and bought some Nintendo DS games.
Yeah.
I thought I paid $4 for them. I knew it was a little high, but one was a Marvel superhero game, and then the other one was called this Spore something or other. I've never played them. I thought, well, I should be able to at least double my money. Well, you got to be careful with those because it's hard to double your money. Most video games, if you can get them for $1 or $2, you're going to be fine.
We talked about this last episode.
Yep.
Video games are...
You got to pick the right ones. You got to have the right system. Same with shoes. If you can get them for $5, but you got to make sure they're the right shoes that are selling right now. So I don't want you getting caught up in just buying anything because you're on a limited income, right? Well, you're doing this money's coming out of your pocket, and the odds are the reason why you're trying the reselling on eBay is A, you're trying to make a little extra side income, right? Because it's tight. Everybody, money doesn't grow on trees. It's tight for all of us. Or you're trying to find a new passion, which means you're still going to have bills.
Yeah.
So you can't take, if you're wealthy, odds are you're not going to be an eBay reseller.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there was other, if you became wealthy due to eBay reselling, then you've got it figured out already.
Yeah.
You're not listening to this podcast.
Listening to the podcast.
Yeah. So
if you are, let us know. Yeah. We'll get you on the podcast with us.
But so I don't want anybody with the misconception that you're going to hit a home run right off the bat and that you need to dump $500, $600, $700 into product, because you don't. You could stay cheap. Now, I'm here to tell you, you can get carried away. I get carried away. I try to source every single day that I can, because I know that the garage sales are going to die off here shortly.
Yeah, they are.
And so I'm left with virtually, we have 4 thrift stores. We talked about this before, but one is really the only one that's worth the darn, and they can't get enough volunteers. They have had the same stuff in that store, and nothing, like the electronics department has not had anything new in 2 weeks. The same computer monitors and computer speakers are sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
And it's because it's all volunteer based.
Yeah.
So I know that when winter hits, I have got to find some alternative ways to source. So I'm really trying to bulk up on the items right now.
Yeah.
But only if you have the money to do that. Obviously, I'm taking what I'm making and turning it back, or putting it back into the business and buying more items. So,
which and when you're starting out, I think you started out the same way I did. You just started out with stuff that you had. You didn't start going to thrift stores and flea markets until you started making some money in it. You took half of. I think a good rule of thumb would be to take half of whatever you make and put it back into items to purchase. Because odds are you're making at least double your money on the things you're buying, if not
after fees.
Triple.
Yeah, right.
So if you take half, you should be able to get the exact same amount of product, if not a little bit more.
Yep. Because here's the thing. If you buy a $5 pair of shoes and you could sell that pair of shoes for $25, right? You got your $5 back. And after fees, you're going to make around $15, just say, right? Take that $7.50 and buy another pair of shoes if you have to.
Yeah.
Because now you're starting to get your feet wet with shoes.
Yeah.
And take the other $7.50, and if you have a bill to pay, don't go buy Starbucks with it. Take that money, either pay a bill, buy yourself some groceries, or reinvest it in more product. Yep. Don't waste it. Because what I'm trying to help you do, and what we're trying to help you do, is build something.
Yeah.
And you can't build off waste.
And that's what we're trying to do. I mean, you've made it pretty good so far on eBay.
Yeah.
I will sit here and say that you've done a good job on it so far.
Thanks.
And we're hoping that I think your YouTube channel picks up like that.
Yep.
That this podcast picks up like that. And anything else we start picks up like that. Because what you've done with the eBay thing in such a short period of time is great. I mean, you look at Harry Tornado, who has done this for a couple of years now. He started part-time when he was still working another job during the pandemic. When everything was shut down, he was starting before that.
Right.
And that had been, 2 years ago now. in 2 years he's at 500 listings, and in 2 months you're at 235.
Yeah.
So you've done a good job. When you look at it that way, you've done a really good job. And the persistence is what helps. I think you have to stick with it every day. And if you say that, oh, you're working full time, I can't do it, I think you're wrong. I think you can spend 10 minutes in your garage or in a spare bedroom or in your kitchen putting up a little light box if you have it, or just a sheet like we talked about, and taking some pictures, posting on eBay. Everyone's
List
got
one
stuff.
or two items
Yeah,
a night. If that's all the time you want to commit to it, but just do it every day.
Yep.
But I guarantee you have an extra hour a day. Guarantee it, because we all sit in the bathroom way too long.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
or lay in bed on our phones for a little
here's
bit.
the thing. Snap your pictures. Go to the bathroom and list while you're sitting in the freaking bathroom. I mean, I know it's as crazy as it sounds that I'm talking about going to the bathroom, but we all know that we all sit in the bathroom and watch videos.
Yeah.
Why not post something or list something on eBay?
Be productive.
Be productive. Because I'm telling you, the more listings you get, the harder it is to hit that next level. And the reason I say that is once I hit 200, my goal is to get 300 listings. It's not a problem. You're not going to hear me complain one iota. You start selling more.
Yeah.
And so to try to hit 300 becomes more difficult because you're selling more. So you're constantly, I don't want to say working backwards, but I have 200, say 35, right? By the time I try to hit 300, I'm going to be back at 220.
Yeah.
Because I keep selling things, which is freaking awesome. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I want you to know it gets more difficult to get to 300, 400, 500 because you're selling more at that point.
But once you start seeing that money come in, everything comes easier.
Oh, 100%.
It's even if it's just a little bit of money, but you see it coming in and it's helping you out a little bit with whatever you need help with. It'll make your mindset be like, okay, I can actually do this. I can post, instead of posting 5 a day, I can post 10 now. Because I know it's making me money. I know for sure it's making me money. When you're starting out, you don't know. You're gonna hope that it's makes you money.
And you're questioning it all along the way.
The whole time. You're like, why am I spending time doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I taking pictures of this? This isn't gonna sell. You don't know that. You just got to try it out and hope for the best.
You have to just have faith in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And be persistent, be consistent. I'm telling you right now, you are not going to see results within the first couple of weeks. You're not. You may get a sale here or there. And it is enough to kind of throw you the bone, make you feel a little bit better. But at a point, you're going to hit a point where you're like, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore. I'm not making any money. I get it. Because I hit that point. I'm at that point right now. It's like I'm tired of spending money on product. I want to start pocketing money. But you have to stay persistent. I'm putting it back into the business.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure everybody understands that this is not quick cash. This is it. We talked about this before. If it were that easy, everybody would be doing it. There's a reason why people start doing this and they drop off. Because it's difficult. And you have to stay persistent and you have to stay consistent. But if you guys can do that, you're going to see results. I promise you. That's one thing. I never try to promise anything. But what I can promise you is stay consistent. And if you do that, you will see results. What the results are, I don't know, because I don't know what you're selling and how much you're selling it for.
Yeah.
Because that has a lot to do with it. If your prices are right and you've got good product or good items that you're selling and you're consistent and you're persistent with your business model, you're going to do well. You will do well. You will. But you have to do the tense, consistent, persistent. Is there another tense?
I was thinking I'm going to start a counter on how many times you've said that this episode.
I know. I'm trying to drill that in everybody's brain. Consistent and persistent.
You've got it drilled in mine. I think I'm going to go to sleep tonight hearing it. How many items would you say you have at the house right now that you haven't listed that you can list?
200.
You probably have another 200 on top of your 200 that you already have listed.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like you need to keep going out and buying more stuff?
I'm scared.
Of what?
That the weather's going to cause no garage sales.
Gotcha.
How high the prices are at their thrift stores here.
So you are just going based off of there's not going to be any garage sales in the next 3 months because it's going to be cold.
I'm trying to play the numbers game, and I don't know what the sales will be like in January. Because we haven't done that before. So it could be very good because everybody's sitting at home on winter.
Yeah.
you can't go out and do anything, so they're going to shop online. I don't know. Q4, which we're in right now, is supposed to be supposedly the best quarter for sales because of the holidays.
Christmas,
yeah. So, and I just started out, so I really don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I know for a fact that I'm trying to stay consistent with 10 listings a day, every single day now, and that's hard work. But if you don't have the stuff to list, you can't list. So you have to be on top of your game. Don't wake up each day saying, I need to find 5 things to list today. You should already have 5 for the next day.
You need to be finding your things that you have for hopefully next week.
Yeah, you need to be a day or 2 or 3 or 4 ahead of the game.
Yeah.
If you want this to be less stressful, because at the beginning it's very stressful because you're new to it. You're not seeing the money roll in. All you see is money going out into things, whether it's printer paper or shipping, whatever the case may be. You see a lot of money out, not in. So make sure. Where were we going with this?
That you're persistent.
Yeah, that you're persistent. You're consistent. What were we just talking about?
I don't know. You started talking.
Oh, you asked me about how
many items you have.
Yeah. If you got to play. In my opinion, and I could be way wrong because I have not been doing this for 2 years.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you whether or not that was right or wrong. But in my opinion is I'm trying to stay ahead of the game as much as possible. Now, I'm at the point now where I have to organize. I have to start getting racks, and we'll talk about that once I get it figured out how I did it and how I keep things organized because it's a pile of doom.
I hope you do it the way I would do it because I've watched some of these guys on YouTube, and I'm like, how did you organize that?
Yeah.
Why do you have a teddy bear in the A bin? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, so that's...
I would think it'd be in the T bin for teddy
bears. Or P for plush.
P for plush, yeah. That's how I would do it.
And I'm not sure how I'm going to go about that yet because right now I'm using numbers.
Yeah.
So, but we'll touch on that at another...
Once you actually do it.
Yeah, once I do it. I don't want to give you guys... do this to be organized, and I haven't done it myself. We're not going to do that. So, needless to say, I hope you guys have taken a little bit of what we said today to heart with all that, knowing that it's okay. We know it's tough. I'm here to tell you it's tough. I've been through that tough period. It's still tough with 200 listings. Now, I am hearing the cha-ching a little bit more, and that puts a smile on my face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't it, right?
Absolutely.
I love hearing that cha-ching. So
it makes you want to do it more.
Yes, exactly. So, guys, hang in there. And if you really enjoy doing this, hang in there. But don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't take all your money and dump it into sourcing items when you don't know when they're going to sell.
I agree.
Or what sells the best for you. Because you haven't figured that out yet. Because I haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stay pretty consistent with shoes and hats. Those are like my bread and butter.
What? Pretty what?
Consistent.
Oh.
Consistent. Persistent. Yeah. Check mark. Was there another tent word we should be saying? I'm intent on saying persistent and consistent. Whatever. Okay. But we're going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening. I hope that you understood a little bit what I was talking about. Understand the word persistent and consistent.
If you don't, I'm surprised we don't have the definition already on here. Find us on all the social media platforms.
Yeah, you got severe _thrifters on eBay. That's my online store if you want to check it out.
And then just Severe Thrifters on Instagram and
Severe
YouTube.
Thrifters on Instagram. I think there's 2 Severe Thrifters on Instagram. One is a picture of Devin and one's a picture of me. Follow us both.
Go ahead. Yeah.
And then we have a YouTube channel that's Severe Thrifters.
Yeah. And then we have this podcast. And we also have another podcast where we just talk about
stuff that we hate.
Just stuff with
it's
society.
Kind of a venting.
Exactly.
And what's the name of that one?
You Know What I Hate.
You Know What I Hate is the name of it on Spotify. So we have this podcast and You Know What I Hate. And reach out to us. Somebody, please. I don't care if you want to send a middle finger emoji to me at severethrifters@gmail.com. I haven't heard a word from anybody. It makes me wonder if anybody's listening.
All the way to the end.
Yeah.
They just start it, and they're like, that's enough. They exit out of it. It's just me and you listening to it over and over on repeat.
Please, somebody,
send us a challenge or something.
Yeah. Or a question. Send us a question.
Something.
Or ask how much I've made. I don't care. I'll share that stuff with you.
Tell us we're stupid.
Yeah, you guys are a bunch of clowns. Something. And how do you spell persistent? I don't care what you put
I
in
don't
there.
even know how to spell that.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to see you on the next one. Hopefully, we'll not see you. We'll hear you
Yeah.
on the next one, episode 8. This is episode 7. I'm John.
I'm Devin.
And we're the Severe Thrifters.